So, over the past few years, I have been really interested in indie games. I've been wanting to play them, and more importantly, I've been wanting to stream them. And recently, I have been doing exactly that. A month or so ago, I streamed New Super Lucky's Tale. It's streaming at Twitch, by the way. Eventually these will get posted to YouTube, but primarily I stream at Twitch. So yeah, New Super Lucky's Tale on Switch a month or so ago. I just finished a game called Framed Wings on Steam. It's an action RPG. Later this week, I'm going back to Nintendo Switch for a game called Furwind. It's an action platformer that kind of reminds me a little of Shovel Knight. And then after that, I'm going to be going back to Steam for a game called Stitched. It is a spooky game where you play as a girl who wakes up in a doll factory. And after that, I'm thinking about playing a game on Switch called Kato Roboto, basically featuring a cat in a mech suit, and it has an interesting art style. It is in black and white. Literally, those are the only colors. I know there are other indie games that are of that coloring, but I haven't played one of those yet, so that would be a first for me. The dream here is to get to the point where indie developers would start coming to me to ask me to play their games, and to an extent that has already happened. I have played Framed Wings. Framed Wings and Stitched are games that were requested. The catch is that they are RPG Maker games, so of course I was requested to play those. My foundation of indie gaming, or my channels, has been RPG Maker. But I'm hoping to spread my horizons a little bit. Anyway, looks like we're starting here. I'm especially looking forward to playing more indie games specifically on Nintendo Switch. I love my Switch. I want to get a lot of games for it. So indie games are awesome for that. Especially considering the eShop situation with how it's being flooded with games. Very much interested in playing some games that nobody's ever heard of. For example, Furwind. I never heard of it, but I was scrolling through the eShop and there it was, and it's like, that looks interesting. I should show it off. So what is this game? It is interesting how indie games are going 3D nowadays. There's still plenty of 2D indie games, but 3D ones are pretty impressive, because they take a lot more effort.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Indie World, a sneak peek at some exciting indie games coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
Blue Fire does look interesting.
And I'm Sam Robertson.
And that was the world premiere of Blue Fire from Graffiti Games and Argentina-based Robi Studios.
Embark on a journey through a long-forgotten land, filled with deadly adversaries and collectibles aplenty, and face 3D
I like
platforming
collectibles.
challenges in a strange place called the Void.
This looks impressive.
When Blue Fire launches first on Nintendo Switch as a timed console exclusive this summer.
Ciao a tutti, sono Fabio Caponi, art director di Napsteam, un piccolo team di solo 2 persone, e sono davvero felice di potervi parlare di Baldo. Da fan dei grandi action adventure RPG e degli iconici anime giapponesi abbiamo sempre sognato di fare qualcosa che unisse le due cose. Volevamo un gioco che fosse un viaggio in un mondo magico, ricco di personaggi fantastici, di dungeon complessi da affrontare, enigmi da risolvere, un viaggio che noi stessi avremmo voluto affrontare. Quindi speriamo davvero che Baldo vi possa appassionare e toccare il cuore come ha fatto con noi.
I really dig this art style. It reminds me of some of my favorite classic anime films.
Again,
Yes, totally. And on top of that,
this is
it's
an
got a rich
indie
cast of
game.
characters, incredible destinations, and an epic storyline full of intriguing secrets.
Exploring
This looks like a AA title you would find on the PlayStation 2, and I mean that in a good way.
Is going to take some serious time, folks. so be sure to set some aside when Baldo releases first on Nintendo Switch.
Hi, Strike Back.
Console exclusive this summer.
Is that an elephant's butt for a logo? That was totally an elephant's butt for a logo. I approve.
A small
The company
but
logo.
remarkable island in the North Atlantic with a long, strange history. Oh, I'm Maurice Lupton. I've lived here all my life. I've been curating the stories of this unique place for years, and here it is, my museum. But lately, well, it seems like I can do new things. And, well, it's not a big deal, but I should mention at this point, I am dead.
Oh. Plot twist. By the way, let me know if I'm dropping any frames. I'm streaming in
this may
HD
be my
and
inner goth talking,
watching this in
but I'm
HD, so
dying to
we'll
explore
see how my
that.
internet handles this.
And I'm dying to try out those ghostly powers, Sam. X-ray vision, sign me up.
Although, from what I hear, Shelmerston may not be long for this world.
But unraveling the tiny island's ancient mysteries is going to be what saves it. You know, UK-based developer Hollow Ponds and Richard Hogg, these guys know their way around charming puzzles. And I can't wait to solve them when I Am Dead launches first on Nintendo Switch as a timed exclusive later this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Heather Bellabo, and I'm the director of production at TikTok
I have
Games.
not actually
Hi
played
there,
any
I'm
artsy-fartsy
Melissa. I'm one of
type
the
games
producers
on
and the
Switch
marketing lead.
or any
We're
indie
here
game
today
yet.
to introduce you to our newest title, Bark. Bark is a 2D, side-scrolling, co-op space shooter where you play as one of 4 ferocious animal astronauts trying to liberate the Earth from crazy robots.
This is a family-focused game that builds a cooperative spirit while still encouraging competition. We hope you enjoy playing this title as much as we enjoyed making it.
In this whimsical side-scrolling shooter from California's TikTok Games, team up with your critter companions to defeat enemies, collect coins, upgrade ships, and take out the bad guys.
Are the
Each
other
animal has
players,
distinct places,
can they be
and you can
computer
combine
controlled?
abilities to mix up the fun. With Easy Couch Co-op, this adorable party
Yeah,
game
Easy
is a
Couch Co-op if you had
fit
somebody to
for
play
family
with.
game night.
Bark blasts off first as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch in late 2020.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Wilson, creator of Cyanide and Happiness, and joining us today is a hideous mutant freak.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Now, Freak,
Cyanide and
everybody's
Happiness in
wondering,
the Nintendo
what happened
Direct.
to your face?
That's not expected.
I, like many of my loved ones, was minding my own business when the apocalypse happened, destroying nearly everything and leaving us all horribly mutated.
Well now, that's a heck of a way to start the day.
I'll tell you what, nothing wakes you up like discovering you can now breathe through your tear ducts. Ugh.
Gosh, well now that you
That
are
does
so
not
hard to
sound
look
fun.
at, where can the audience see what you've been up to?
Or you can find me in the brand new adventure game, Freakpocalypse, where you can explore, solve puzzles, and try to survive in what's left of our terrible world. And be sure to keep an eye out for me. I'm the one that's not dead.
That's great, I'll definitely check it out. Now don't go anywhere, we'll be right back after the break.
No, you won't.
Chris? Chris?
Huh.
While we're waiting for Chris, you guys get ready for a world full of weirdness when Cyanide and Happiness Freakpocalypse launches first as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Well,
Hola a todos.
That's a
Somos
thing.
Civil, un estudio español situado en Valencia. Os presentamos nuestro nuevo videojuego. Summer in Mara es una aventura tropical que cuenta la historia de Koa, una niña que deja su hogar para descubrir los secretos del océano. Hemos creado una aventura sobre el crecimiento y sobre cuidar la naturaleza.
En Chivig hacemos juegos de granjas en lugares insólitos. En Summer in Mara tendrás tu propia isla que cuidar y además un barco con el que explorar el océano. Con más de 30 islas que descubrir y una veintena de personajes a los que ayudar, tendrás mucho que hacer. Relájate, disfruta y nos vemos en Mara.
It might be tempting to just kick back and catch some rays when you hit the beach in Summer in Mara.
can you pet the
but
dog?
the ocean calls you to fulfill your destiny, and mysteries await.
Yeah, like, what's up with that gigantic rock thing right there on your island?
Make friends, farm, explore, and craft as Koa's adventure unfolds in a vibrant world with weather events and a day-night cycle.
And contrary to its name, you're not going to have to wait until summer to play this game.
Because Summer in Mara's first port of call is Nintendo Switch. As a timed console exclusive.
Well, I mean, the other games were in summer.
Players on Nintendo Switch will
so,
be
of course, the
first to
game
get these timed exclusive free
that has summer in its title
backpack.
is, of course, going to release in spring.
Hi, my name is Baltasar Roger from Nimble Giant, a game development studio in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Quantum League is a first-person shooter with a unique time loop mechanic that allows you to team up with your future and past selves in 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2 online battles. In this game, causality isn't fixed.
I don't mind similar art styles. A lot of games have similar art styles.
Mixed with a highly competitive FPS.
It's just how it is.
Hope you'll enjoy Quantum League.
I mean,
This
it wasn't too
online
long
FPS
ago
is
that
a
every
bit of
game
a
was
brain
brown.
But once you wrap your head around the nifty time paradox mechanic, the possibilities are positively mind-boggling.
So check this out. In each consecutive round of a match, you're joined by clones. These are echoes of your past self, and they mimic your previous movements through the arena.
Plan your actions each round strategically, and you and your clones can feint opponents into some very dangerous situations.
That is a neat idea,
Nintendo Switch,
and I would be more interested if it wasn't an online
こん
game.
にちは、ホワイトアールズのスウェリーです。日本の大阪で世界中の皆さんに向けてゲームを開発しています。本日はこの場を借りて、現在開発中のザ・グッドライフが任天堂スイッチでも発売されることを正式に発表させていただきます。ザ・グッドライフはイギリスの田舎町を舞台にした借金返済 RPG です。世界一幸福な町
A
と言われ
debt
る
repaying RPG. Isn't that Animal
とんで
Crossing?
もない秘密が隠されていました。夜になると人々は犬や猫に変身してしまうんです。他にはない不思議で奇妙なゲームをお届けします。2020年発売、期待してお待ちください。
Hope you're ready to use your feline skills and canine prowess to pay off that debt and solve a murder along the way.
These are no small tasks. But luckily, each of your forms has special skills that'll help along the way. And there's no way I can resist a game in which the main form of transportation is riding sheep.
Enjoy the bizarre charm of Rainy
Okay.
Woods when The Good Life
I am
launches on
interested.
Nintendo Switch this year.
Hi, I'm Sean Murray.
And I'm Stephen Burgess.
And we're here at Hello Games in the UK. We'd like to show you a little of the game we're working on called The Last Campfire.
I'm the designer on The Last Campfire. It's a game about Ember, who's become lost and is searching for a way home. The game means a great deal to me and the team, and we were trying to make something about compassion, empathy, and finding hope.
We really hope you like it.
Some sort of puzzle game then? This song better not be copywritten. It's either a puzzle game or another sort of artsy-fartsy game. And I don't mean artsy-fartsy in a bad way either. So you're playing as a pillow? No, you do have a face. Subscriptions are totally welcome. Help me pay for my groceries. I want to buy lots of cereal. I would have to see more of that game in order to
Hello
understand.
Games, known for the
Oh.
vast galactic exploration of No Man's Sky, delivers an altogether more intimate adventure with this new game.
Experience a truly moving tale about rekindling hope. when the last campfire launches.
Okay,
for
I would
Nintendo
need to see
Switch
more of that
this
game
summer.
to get a feel for
If
what
you're
it
a
is
fan
that
of
I would be
games with
playing
immersive
if I played it.
techniques and sleek stylistic visuals, multimedia artist Bayan and Kyoto-based Q Games have got you covered.
In Pixel Junk Eden 2, stages generate in real time based on your actions, as you guide an inquisitive little creature called a Grimp on a journey to save its fellow Grimps and restore their gardens.
Each choice
Yay,
you
bits!
make, from
Thank you for the
Grimp
bits,
you control
Wireland.
to how you enhance and maneuver them, gives rise to a distinct sensory experience.
Enjoy this Wonderland alone or with a friend via local multiplayer when Pixel Junk Eden 2 launches on Nintendo Switch this summer. Every good strategy
Levels
game has
that
its share of risks and
generate
rewards.
themselves based on your
So enter the
action
world of Feria
would
at
definitely
risk.
have to play that in order
Because
to
the
understand
rewards
how
means
exactly that
Belgian
works.
developer Abercam's card game truly comes to life.
And really puts your strategic skills to the test, as you craft not only your decks, but also the terrain of the battlefield itself.
There are lots of ways to unlock cards in this game.
For the record, I
Progress with the
am not so
sizable
much
solo campaign, for
interested in
example, or
card
play
games.
draft mode or even PvP battles.
Plus, there are online co-op missions and some puzzles on the side too.
The Nintendo Switch version of Feria comes with 4 free cosmetic packs available to download for free for a limited time when the game launches later this spring. And after that, they'll be available as in-game purchases.
It's grim, it's dark, it's tough to master. But hey, that's all part of the fun.
Indeed. Slaying gods is no simple task, but hey, the bragging rights? Legendary.
In this brutal boss rush battler, timing and precision are paramount.
And you guys are going to want to pay attention to your loadout here too, because combat customization and unlockable talents and abilities, they're all key to your survival.
Be among the first to take up the challenge when Eldest Souls launches as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch this summer.
So basically, if we had
All
Dark
right, everybody,
Souls,
so we're
but
almost
only
out
the
of time today,
bosses,
but before we go, we'd like to share a quick peek at a few more indie games that are being worked on by some amazing developers around the world.
Yeah, I think it still works.
Ghost of a Tale, a game starring rats, Sky. That looks neat. I would play that. Sky Racket. You know, I don't play very many shoot 'em ups. I should sometime. Superliminal. Oh, interesting. Wingspan. That was another card game. Bounty Battle. Some sort of Smash Brothers type game. Moving out. Frogger, but you're moving furniture. More bits! Yay! Recommending Dicey Dungeons, huh?
Well, everybody, it was a pleasure.
And it still is, because we have one more thing to share.
Fire it up.
I do like a one more thing.
Past has been erased. A paradox created. Yet the gungeon remains.
Is this Gungeon? Oh, it is. Another Enter the Gungeon game, but it's side-scrolling. Enter the Gungeon is a game I've never played before. Looks interesting, but I never got around to trying it out. Honestly, there's a lot of neat indie games that I've missed out on.
Whether you dared to enter the Gungeon or not, be prepared to exit.
This game picks up right where the last one left off, and developer Dodgeroll has somehow managed to make the Arsenal Pact extravaganza we know as the Gungeon even more intense, packing it with hundreds of weapons and items, shifting rooms, and plenty of battle-hardened gun dead.
Exit the Gungeon launches on Nintendo Switch as a time console exclusive
later today.
There's gotta be that stealth drop.
Well, everyone, it was a pleasure. Really.
And it's over. For real this time.
But on behalf of Nintendo, we just want to take a minute to say thank you to our Indie World community and all the developers out there that are just as passionate about indie games as all you fans that play them on Nintendo Switch.
And thanks to all of you for tuning in. For more of the latest news from the Indie World community, be sure to follow Nintendo of America's just launched official Indie World Twitter account, @IndieWorldNA. Until next time, happy gaming.
See ya.
I might have to follow that account. I actually do enjoy, what are they called, roguelikes? I had a lot of fun with Binding of Isaac. That was one of those games where I didn't really stream it. Probably would have had a lot of people watching if I did. I did wind up streaming it whenever I completed the game 100%, but that was basically it. Actually, it's the only roguelike I've actually played. I have not played Enter the Gungeon. There's also this one side-scrolling dungeon exploration game. I forget what it's called, but it looked interesting. Haven't played that. Stratback says you'll definitely enjoy PMD. Well, I don't necessarily know that PMD is necessarily the same thing we're talking about here. I'm talking about, like, games where, yeah, it's a randomly generated dungeon, but you also come across randomly generated items that power you up and that sort of thing, and then you either die or make it to the end, and then you try again with stronger stuff until you can get further and further until eventually you beat it. So there were definitely some interesting games in here, games that I'll have to keep an eye on. Most of them are thankfully not releasing yet, so I have time to get through what I am looking at right now, those games that I mentioned at the start of the stream. By the way, on the subject of not indie games, starting tomorrow at Twitch, I am going to be doing a blind playthrough of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. I've never played through any Mystery Dungeon game. I've only dabbled in a couple, played a few dungeons, mainly because I haven't actually owned any of my own. I was playing other people's copies, but this is my own copy, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Let's see, what else? Yeah, indie games. Those indie games that I played were fun. The ones that I am getting ready to play, I am looking forward to. Definitely follow me at Twitch if you are interested in seeing me play some variety of indie games, as well as Pokemon. And if there's any indie developers out there who feel like their games are getting criminally overlooked, send your game my way. I'll stream it. As for what I've got going on here at YouTube, sorry about clicking this and making things weird. I had to do something stupid with my settings just to get it to capture YouTube. But anyway, those of you watching this at YouTube, I've got 2 playthroughs going on. I have a 100% playthrough of Paper Mario, and I have an RPG Maker 3 playthrough called Raiders of Lecundur Special Edition. So, check those out if you are curious. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.